Hello again, it's Alec, doing the next interactive assignment where we make a pasta rocket. So we've got our materials. I've got plenty of yeast, some hydrogen peroxide, 3%, and then I know the instructions said to use a mason jar. I'm going to try something a little different, just due to what I have around the house. So I've got a sippy cup, okay, and this lid has a hole already in it that will hold the noodle there. So I'm going to try with this ziti noodle to put it in this cup and see where it goes. So bear with me here. So for this experiment, what we're going to do is we're going to fill the sippy cup up with the hydrogen peroxide. I'm going to do about halfway full, just to make sure that there is plenty in there. And so what we're hoping to see is hydrogen peroxide, since it is H2O2. The idea is that the yeast, when we place that into the hydrogen peroxide, will break that down, and the reaction will cause a release of oxygen to flow and build up. So when we put the lid on there, you can see I've got about a half cup there. When we put the lid on to the cup, after we've put the yeast into it, not the whole thing, just a little bit, the reaction will cause O2 to flow up. The pressure will cause the oxygen to go up through the noodle, and in theory, if we light it, it should have a little bit of a rocket flame to it. So I'm going to go ahead and open up some of the yeast here. Yeast. Put some in there. Okay. And after I've done that, go ahead and just put the lid on it. I'm going to swirl it around a little bit. Okay. So inside of there, the yeast should be starting to react with the H2O2 and starting to form oxygen. And from the outside, you can already see the condensation on the inside. So what I'm going to do is put this lighter. Okay. Let's see if we can get this to take over, maybe. Right. Looks like for this, for me, it is just burning the tip of the noodle. Try it a little bit longer, see if I can get it to take. Yeah, it doesn't look like this worked this time. Let's see here. I suppose it's possible that maybe I didn't put enough yeast in it compared to where the hydrogen peroxide is listed. So let me see if I can get this lid off. And what I will try to do, that's strange. It seems like the yeast on top of it actually just kind of formed a solid. That was unexpected. So the yeast just reacted with it to form a solid. I add more yeast onto the top of that. I don't think this is going to change anything really, given what it's looking like. Mix it around a little bit more. You shake that up. Okay. Let's see what we get. So all that it's really doing is popping bubbles at this point. You can see that it's just the yeast reacting with the hydrogen, but it's just popping bubbles. It's not really taking off or anything like that. if anything, it's actually exploding. Just more and more reactions. So my rocket is just a fountain of bubbles at this point, but the bubbles represent the oxygen. So in theory, if you were to do this experiment, I guess correctly, the oxygen, instead of flowing out in bubbles like this, would have flown up through the tube, because of the tubular shape the flame would have caught, like in our intro video. Jeez. And then, so the ongoing flow of oxygen from the yeast reacting to break down the H2O2 would have kept the flame going. It probably would have burned down the noodle, but as you can see, this has occurred. My guess would be the hole that I was using to hold the noodle must have had air around it. So I'm saying, my thought is that the reason it's caused this reaction is because there must have been too much oxygen already seeping out to where it wasn't really a direct flow through the noodle. So, and then when I added the yeast, the reaction's still happening. It's just the reaction itself bubbled out through the noodle. So, in the future, it is good to have a smaller hole than the size of your tube if you're going to do this, and then also good to just use the recommended amount of yeast as opposed to this amount of yeast. As you can see, it's made quite a mess. So, alrighty, thank you.